So you guys know, I talked about it in the mailbag, all the narratives out there, the national narratives out there about the Coyotes, about this arena, et cetera. Oh, they're only going to have one logo at center ice. Oh, the morals clause, the good behavior clause they have in their contract. I could go on and on. I talked about a lot of this in the mailbag. We've known for a long time that the visiting team locker room would not be ready. The annex would not be ready for the first 4 games. I reported a long time ago now that the Coyotes will use ASU's visiting locker room space, which is actually a pretty nice space for a visiting team. But the visiting NHL team for these first 4 games, as I've reported multiple times, is going to have a makeshift team area, dressing room, training areas, just set up on the community ice rink, which is adjacent to Mullett Arena. Well, I was at ASU today to interview some players for the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game and something else that I'm writing as well. And it's a short walk from the interview room to the community rink. It's open, and they were just starting to set up those visiting team areas. So I thought, what the hell? I'm going to go shoot some video. So here is my extremely amateurish video.
Yes, our videographer, Craig Morgan. Let's roll it. So this is the temporary for these 4
There's the
games.
Boards. So we're literally on the ice floor, okay?
So if you're listening on audio, there's curtains. This is literally like an uniced rink.
Yeah.
Pipes and drapes.
Yeah.
It is a fascinating locker room setup. Obviously, this is not what the visiting locker room at Mullett will be.
So they're going to lock the community rink when visiting NHL teams here. Nobody's going to have access to this other than the visiting team. So they're actually going to have access to a massive space. It's just not what they've grown accustomed to. But I want to point something out. This is not something new. I know that the images, the actual imagery will be new to a lot of people. And once we put this out on social media, I can predict the responses that we're going to get, particularly from north of the border. And that's why I wanted to talk to Javier Gutierrez. The timing was really good. I happened to have an interview set up with him, and I brought this up. And so Javier Gutierrez, a lot of this will be contained in a story that will run Thursday as I set up the first NHL game at Mullett Arena. But I spoke to Javier Gutierrez at length, and he addressed the visiting team areas specifically. So we have a lengthy, but you know me, I like nuance. I like detail. I don't like just a quick soundbite. So here's what Javier Gutierrez had to say about this.
So for those listening on audio, he said, as far as these temporary locker rooms, NHL league office and hockey operations folks have been involved throughout the entire process. We've had constant communication with the Players Association, not only about these 4 games in the temporary locker room and facilities that we would have to build out, but the entire annex. So from day one, there has been communication about all of this. All 4 teams that are coming are fully aware of the setup. I have had conversations and outreach and communication with all of those teams. We have made ourselves available for any questions or concerns. I think they are all confident that if the league office and their stellar staff on the hockey operations side is involved and they have signed off on it, that it is appropriate for them. So there you have it.
So talking points off of that. Let's reiterate the key bullet points. This is not a surprise. Now, you probably read in some places that this is shocking. It's surprising. This came out of left field. No, this has been the case since they entered into this deal, really, and they started examining Mullett Arena and what they were going to do. This has been known for a long time. The league has been apprised of it and involved in it. The NHLPA has been apprised of it and involved in it. In fact, I talked to Matthew Schneider from the NHLPA at the draft back in Montreal about this. So they've known about it for a very long time. And what Javier said to me today, something I hadn't heard before, they've told all 4 teams that are coming for these 4 games. They've apprised them of the situation. He said, we made ourselves available. We'll answer any questions. So the Winnipeg Jets, the New York Rangers, the Florida Panthers, and the Dallas Stars all knew about this and could ask questions. They're all apprised of it, and they know that the league and the PA have signed off on it. So keep all those facts in mind when the images of this dressing room come out on social media, especially when they come out from somebody other than PHNX Coyotes, because you can just predict the sort of reactions. And look, it's not ideal, right?
It's not. We're not saying that it is in any capacity.
Like, how many times are we going to say it, though? How many times are we going to repeat the same thing? Yes, we know already. We've already established that. It is not ideal, but again, it's a temporary situation, as they've been saying from the start. So get over it already. It's happening. It's happening. Get over it. And the other thing that Javier reiterated to me, look at all the money we're spending. Yeah. Alex Morella's over $30 million deep on the renovations here, or the building of the annex, all the upgrades that they had to do to get this place up to NHL standards, and what they did up at the ice den too. They're showing their commitment, all right? They're showing their commitment. They have this plan for the Tempe Arena, which we expect a vote on before the holidays. So there's a lot at play here. There are a lot of moving parts. They understand that it's not ideal, but they basically inherited a mess, and they're trying to dig out from that mess, and they're doing a lot of good things. So let's see how it plays out. Is Mullett Arena the perfect place for an NHL game? Maybe not in some respects. I still think it's going to be really cool. But again, it's a temporary thing. And let's stop bashing the arena. It's an unbelievable college arena. It's a fantastic college arena. ASU knocked this out of the park.
The fan experience for NHL fans too is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah,
I know we haven't even seen an NHL game there, but I have no doubt in my mind from a fan perspective, it's going to be an unbelievable experience. And something I want to add to this conversation too about that it's not ideal is that the NHL was actually the one that said the Coyotes can't start 20 games straight on the road, which is what they would have done if this weren't the case. The NHL didn't want that.
No, and the Coyotes didn't either, obviously.
And the Coyotes didn't either. So it's not like the Coyotes were tripping over themselves to say, hey, like, here's the perfect solution. This is just the best solution. Much like Mullett Arena, it's not ideal, but it's the best solution to bridge the gap between now and Tempe. This is the solution to bridge the gap between now and the annex being ready in December. And 4 teams are going to have to deal with this. It'll probably, and I think Spencer said it a minute ago, it's the largest visiting locker room in the NHL. Come on.
It probably is.
It's a rink size.
And that's the other side of this that really drives me crazy. I get that there are NHL standards and there are expectations, but in the end, I just want to do this. Stop whining, you babies. It's one damn game. Seriously? Is this the biggest deal in the world? Oh my God, you have to get ready in a temporary space. Who the hell cares? You're still making a ton of money. You're still going to play on NHL ice. It's fantastic ice, by the way. Good God, get over it. It's really not that big a deal. Yeah,
and seriously, if you're playing hockey for the love of the game, think back to when you were a kid and where you used to play hockey and all the, tiny arenas you'd go to and where you'd get ready and where your parents would be tying your skates. Like, now you're in the NHL. For one day, you can get over this. And enjoy this unique experience.
Right. I mean, it just smacks of like privilege, doesn't it? When you complain about it, I get that it's not up to NHL standards, but really, you can't just get over it for one game.
So
no team's going to deal with it for more than one game. So
we'll see what people say about it. We'll see what the visiting players have to say. But this is us getting ahead of it because we just know it's coming. Not ideal, but it will be interesting to see how things play out.